Hi, I'm Paul Diddy Darnell, professional stuntman and freerunner, and this is Parkour in Action. Today I'm going to break down the stunts I did for the movie You Don't Mess with the Zohan. I got hired as a parkour stunt double for Adam Sandler, my first major blockbuster, and I almost ruined my whole stunt career. So I get the call they want to use me to double Adam Sandler for this film to do all of his parkour movements. I'm super excited, and they're shooting in New York. So they're going to fly me all the way from Los Angeles to New York. The thing is, I hadn't lived in Los Angeles that long enough and didn't really understand how the traffic worked. My flight was at 10 o'clock and I decided to leave my house at 8:30, thinking that that'd be plenty enough time to get to the airport, check in and fly. Well, let's just say you leave your house at 8:30, you're going to be sitting in an hour of 4 or 5 traffic. And that's exactly what happened. Finally got there, got to the airport, tried to check in, and I was too late. I had missed the cutoff by like 2 minutes. So I was stressed out, being very nervous, very green. So I called the travel agent and said, hey, I missed my flight. Is there anything we can do? And they said, yeah, we'll book you on another flight. I got my flight booked. It got delayed. So I made it to my connecting airport, where I now missed my connecting flight because that original flight that I just got on was delayed, which means they had no more flights flying out that night, and I wasn't going to make it to New York on the day I was scheduled to work. I was freaking out. I called the assistant coordinator and said, hey, I messed up, I'm sorry. He let me have it. He said, I just messed up big. This was the end of my career. You're never gonna get hired again. You'll fly right back out here to New York, and we're gonna fly you right back to California. You're done. That sucked. I had to sleep in the airport that night, and that's all I could think about is how I just messed up, how I was never gonna work again, and what should I do? So finally the morning came, I hopped on a 6 a.m. flight, made it to New York, called the assistant, said, hey, I'm here, let me know where to go, or if I need to just wait at the airport and fly back. So I waited at the airport for about 2 hours, and I didn't hear anything. That's when my mind shifted, and I said to myself, I'm in New York, I've already ruined my career. Why don't you just go have some fun? So I went to check into the hotel. It was such a cool hotel. And then I walked around Grand Central Park and all through Manhattan. Didn't have any cares, when you think everything's over, you're like, I don't care. And so you just made the best of it. I go back to my hotel, and then I get a text saying, meet downstairs in the lobby at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Does this mean I'm staying? I wasn't sure if that was like, okay, meet there to fly out or meet to stay. I go downstairs tomorrow morning. I meet the assistant. And he's like, dude, you are screwed. You're gonna meet the coordinator, Scott Rogers, and he's just gonna send you back home. So I was riding in the van. I was so nervous. I finally go up to Scott. It's only the second time I've ever met him, and said, hi, Scott, I'm so sorry for being late. It was totally my fault. And he just like slaps me on the shoulder and says, hey, don't worry about it. I remember blah, blah, blah was late his first job, and he was like a whole week late. And I was like, is this for real? Like, is this it? It ended up working out. They let me stay. I was super grateful because that was a terrible first impression that I had given to the whole stunt team. It turned out to be one of my favorite jobs. So getting into filming now. So Adam Sandler had like 12 plus doubles for his movie. Different specialists like hacky sack, swimming, dancing. I was the parkour double for this, and one of the scenes they had was near the beginning of the film. There's like this long chase. A majority of it was actually shot in Israel, and again, a first for me to travel out there. And so this scene right here in Israel, and Adam Sandler jumps out of the car. That's one stunt double there. And as you can see there, it wasn't a parkour athlete, but it was one of their stunt doubles, and you can tell it's not a parkour athlete by the way they roll. No, you would never want to roll over your spine if you didn't have to, unless they specifically said, please roll straight over your spine. Otherwise, you're going to do a PK roll over your shoulder. But he did great hopping out of the car. He probably did that about 8 or 9 times. And then the chase continues on. Here it switches to another stunt man, and he tic-tacs off the wall, does a little cat and climbs up. And right here, this is where I come in, arms up. I still don't know why I did that. And a little Kong vault down and dive roll, and switches into another building, which they shot. I look at this right here, and I'm like, why did I throw my arms up. I'm not sure. I think I was just excited to be there, just doing a big jump. It was also kind of tricky to run in that sort of outfit. It was like a longer sort of dress style where your knees would get caught a lot. So moving your knees up or arms, I know definitely helped to get it off my feet when I was jumping. That was the beginning right here of my parkour for the Zohan. So the fight continues on through this whole chase. Adam is this sort of superhero guy. And as you can see here, dismantling guns and going for it. And then they have one more sort of parkour movement right here, but this was by one of the gymnasts that Adam had doubling him. He does a diving Kong right there, as you can see. See that again. He did a great job. Because a Kong vault is pretty much just a hecht vault in gymnastics, so he understood that right away, and Alex pulled that one off. Looked really nice. So this was another one of the bigger sequences that I was involved with. Adam dives out the window, the front flip, the nice slide down the stairs, the back flip, that's the second double, a huge gainer, about 20-some feet, that's the third, fourth double, another aerial dive, and then that's me doing the Kong to the box fan. Now what was tricky about this stunt right here, just this simple Kong, is that it was blind and that I cannot see the truck underneath me. And what they had done is they had put a flag on the front of the truck right in the front. So then once I saw that flag moving, I knew that I had however many feet of the top of that truck left to land on. So I timed it out where I would see that flag, take my steps, and then vault, because you can't see until the last minute and it's super hard to abort, so you have to commit to make it there. And that's a decent drop. That's probably about a 7-foot drop to Kong on a moving target. And what was interesting is they really wanted me to stick it, as it looks like I stuck it here, but they did a CG takeover right here. I actually had to do like a 4-point landing and put my hands down, but they CG'd Adam's body over top and has a nice solid stick just to keep that style of the character going. This one was a tricky stunt. It seems so simple, and we did it all in one for all the Texas switch, starting from the top on a big crane shot, coming all the way down through the slide. He would land, they would say, go, the next person would get up and go, land, and they would have the next person go, and we all did this in one shot. This is the stunt I did. I was the last performer, vaulted on, transferred, and then did the flip off, but it became one of the hardest stunts, and the reason was we had prepped the day before, or rehearsed the day before, and we had 2 box trucks, and we were trying to figure out how Adam's character could be surfing one and then transfer over to another one. We thought it'd be better to jump, transfer to the top of the second box truck, and then run and do a gainer off. And so we practiced that throughout the morning. And then I got a call saying, hey, Paul, we have an audition open that we'd like you to come for Star Trek. And I was like, whoa, yeah, of course. I don't want to miss out on Star Trek. That'd be amazing. So I asked the coordinator if I could go, and he said, yeah, if you can make it there during your lunch break and back, then yeah, feel free. Because it was on the same lot. We were filming in Warner Brothers, and it was on the same lot, just at a different stage across the whole studio. I literally got that call, asked Scott, and then just ran, just sprinted as fast as I could. Just had to stop a couple times and sprint. Made it all the way to the audition. Super kind of flustered. Saw the fight choreo I had to do. Went through it. I didn't do my best performance. Milked my way through it. Said thank you very much, and then sprinted all the way back to try to make it back before lunch was over, which I did. And then we continued rehearsing again, working out the exact stunt and the mats and what we would need to do and the timing. I went home, went to bed, woke up the next morning because we were shooting that stunt the next day, and my legs were jelly. I could barely walk. I didn't realize that I was having so much fun that I had just exerted and used all the strength and power in my legs. So I'm like getting up and like thinking, oh no, this is my big day. This is when I have to do my stunts. And my legs are just giving out as I'm walking downstairs and getting to my car. And I'm just thinking like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull the stunt off. When you do a gainer, you wanna have enough power that you can jump away, but you're flipping towards the obstacle. So there's a higher chance of really hitting your head. And without having enough strength in your legs, I was super afraid that I was going to run and my leg would give out and I would hit my head and just just make a fool of myself. I said, here goes nothing. And I got on top of the first box truck and it starts driving towards the other one. And they're like, ready and action. And I jump, land on the other one, take a couple steps, run, throw as hard as I can, make the gainer, and land. I was completely amazed that my body could do that. Literally, my legs were done. I got off and I could barely walk. And they're like, okay, going again. I wonder if I can do this again. So I climbed back up on the truck. They're like, ready and action. My body just would tighten up. I would just focus directly on what I had to do. And I would just jump, run, and flip, and do it. And it was amazing. I didn't think I was gonna be able to flip. I could barely walk, and yet I had to do this difficult flip for me, but it worked out. It really changed something in my mind that you can do much more than you think you're capable of. Like, I thought there was no way that I could do that. I always know now that I can do a lot more than I thought I could. And that was my first big parkour stunt job in Hollywood. It was an amazing experience. I learned so much, and it's really cool of what you can do with parkour in films. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button down below. Subscribe for more content to come. And again, I'm Paul Diddy Darnell. Live free. Peace.